I'm Bree, and this is TJ. In 2017, we decided to break away from the norm and travel the US in our custom 4x4 van and Airstream. We loaded up our two dogs, Madly and Brody, and cat Jack, and hit the road. We quickly realized life on the road is full of surprises, and our name-embracing Detours fit our new life perfectly. Please subscribe, and welcome to the adventure. We are in month 2 of COVID-19 quarantine, and spring is in full bloom here in Washington. We've been enjoying the warming days and displays of cherry blossoms and rhododendron, but being stuck inside on such beautiful days has been a bit of a tease. Thankfully, things are starting to look up as COVID-19 restrictions begin to loosen in the area. We have been at my brother's for a little over a month now. Crazy how time flies. In that time, we've been in quarantine, so we really haven't done much of anything, at least nothing that you guys would be interested in seeing. But Washington State has just started a couple of days ago phase 1 of their slow reopen. So what that means is still no camping, unfortunately, but some trailheads and public lands are open for like hiking. So that's what we're headed out to do today. So what hike are we doing today?
We're gonna go hike up Mailbox, which is one of the famous hikes around here. It has spectacular 360-degree views, but it's about 11 miles round trip and 4,000 feet of elevation gain.
So you're trying to kill us?
I am trying to kill you guys. You will not come for another hike.
All right, let's do it. Today is Thursday, May 7th. We are currently shooting for our video that's going to be coming out this coming Tuesday, so 5 days from now.
It's the first time in a long time we've been even close to real-time filming.
Yeah, I mean, we're usually, by design, honestly, at least 4 to 6 weeks behind, although we have been known to get more like 2 to 3 months behind, just depending on how busy we are. And it actually worked well for us during the quarantine, allowed us to not get caught up too quickly. But this gives us a unique opportunity to give you guys some real-time updates.
Yeah, so we're here in Washington staying with Bree's brother, and Washington State has started lifting some of the restrictions on state parks and hiking trails. So we thought we'd get out today and do one called Mailbox Peak.
Yep. And we'll be giving you guys updates and maybe answering some of your questions from our last video in this video. Washington is always beautiful and green, but the spring is especially pretty with all the flowers blooming. I love it here.
So quite a few of you have asked or have thought that we weren't going to be making any videos while we're in the quarantine, but our intention was always to keep making videos. They may not be our normal travel video, but I mean, life is still happening for us, and you know, we still have a day-to-day, so we thought we would still bringing that along.
Yeah, and it helps that Washington has started to slowly reopen. So while we may not be able to camp, we'll still be able to get out and do some exploring.
Exactly, and it's a beautiful area, so there's plenty of things here for you guys to see. And you know, if any of you guys are thinking of visiting here, it's just a beautiful place in spring and summer. So
it really is. And we're kind of excited actually about this opportunity, because normally when we're here, our focus is spending time with family. And
yeah, typically we come here and we kind of live in a house and we do day trips, but we don't really travel the Northwest, which is a shame because
there's so much to see here.
There's a lot of great areas.
And we just have not done it justice. So we are excited to show you guys the Pacific Northwest and explore it ourselves.
That's a pretty outfit you got on there.
Strike a pose, come on. There it is.
Stretch out my thighs.
It is straight up at the end. Hey T.
Hey, what?
And then there are people like that.
Yeah, they run up and down it.
So how has coronavirus affected our summer plans, other than the obvious, which is that the trailer is currently in storage and we're not camping?
We had planned to travel a little more through California and up through Oregon to get eventually back to Washington, because that was going to be our jumping off point to go to Alaska this summer, which looks like probably is not going to happen this year.
Yeah, so we had originally planned to leave for Alaska mid-May, and it's now a week into May. The borders are still closed, and there's no, opening date.
Yeah, there's no definite answer of when things are going to get straightened out. So there's still maybe a little glimmer of hope that we might go to Alaska, and it's sort of. There are definitely some pros to going to Alaska this summer, because it's going to be a lot less busy, but we also don't want to cut our time there short. So more than likely, I'd say it's probably not going to happen this summer. There's a 90% chance we're not going, for sure.
Yeah, but that's okay, because I'm really excited about the alternative, which is all of the Pacific Northwest. I've been to, when the border does open, I've been to like Vancouver, British Columbia, all the Canadian areas in the north. I guess that would be their southwest. But then also the areas throughout Washington state. So some really cool areas to explore. So we're headed back down the mountain, so it's a little easier to chat now than when we were going up.
So another question we've been getting a lot of is why we just didn't continue camping through the pandemic.
Right, why we felt the need to come off the road and move in at my brother's house.
Right.
And honestly, that was our plan all along. This was going to be our jumping off point to go to Alaska.
We hadn't planned to come so early, but it was our plans were gonna bring us to Seattle anyway, before we headed up to Alaska.
Right, exactly. And so we spent the month at the KOA in Vegas, sort of just waiting things out to see how long the quarantine was going to be. And when we saw, all right, well, there's not an end in sight, we decided let's just go ahead on up there. Number one, we can save money.
Saved quite a bit of money. It was costing between $800 and $900 for us to stay our monthly rate at the KOA.
Right, exactly. And it cost us like $100 to $150 a month to store the trailer while we live at my brother's. Not to mention, I mean, there are some definite pros to living in a house.
And we also just thought that,
In case anything went wrong.
if our family needed anything from us, we could be there, and if we needed anything from them, they'd be there for us. And
There's a certain sense of security in being with family.
yes. At the time, we didn't really know about campgrounds and how many were going to be open. Things like that also contributed to it, but
Well, yeah.
ultimately, this is where we were headed anyway. We just went a little sooner than we had expected.
Yeah, when we left Vegas, there was, that's a month ago now, and at that time in this pandemic, there was still, like, campgrounds were closed down. Like, there was a lot of uncertainty, like TJ mentioned, and just the availability of being able to camp. Not to mention, even if we found somewhere to camp, it's not that much fun when you're quarantined and can't get out and explore. So, like, what's the point,
Right.
really?
Just to stay in a campground to stay in a campground didn't make a lot of sense to us.
So we saved money, we had the security of family, and really we just didn't see the point of camping when having the security of being around family was an option. So that's why. TJ, we're on pavement again.
We're almost home.
We are 100 feet from the truck. How do you feel, TJ?
I don't feel bad. Pretty tired though.
Yeah.
I could take a break for a little bit. It was quite the hike for sure.
It was. My knees hurt, my feet hurt, I'm tired. But it was a really good hike. I'm glad we did it.
Alright, we are back from our hike, and our last question we've been getting lately is how is Jack?
Yes, how is Jack doing? Jack is doing okay. Jack is starting to show his age more and more. He is...
As we all are, he's getting old.
Yeah, exactly. So, he's kind of in a gradual decline, I'm sorry to say. He is just acting older and more frail. Most people that have cats kind of know what happens as they get older. They stop cleaning themselves as well.
All that being said, he's doing... But all that being said, he's doing much better than he was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely. So the antibiotics and the prednisone definitely helped his sinus issues. He's not 100% better.
He's still a little snorty, but he's much better than he was there.
Yeah. So that's cleared up some, but he's a 17-year-old cat, so
Right.
he's doing as well as can be expected for his age.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're all doing good. So thank you all for all of your questions and for worrying about us and being so kind to us.
Yes.
We really
All your
appreciate
support. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please be sure to give us a thumbs up.
And if you want to keep following along, make sure you subscribe.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.